He plays last night for Danny Dimes.
So it's 14-7, and then hold on. The much maligned Giants defense gets into the action. They're going to hit Brady, and they're going to take it in for the score.
One of the rare times Tom Brady held on to the ball too long. You see the sack coming right behind him, trying to make that play. And then, of course, this is what gives the Giants life. You can get points outside of just Danny Dimes trying to throw for a touchdown. You can have a chance to win.
That's Marcus Golden taking it to the house. And Bill Belichick can't believe it. We're tied at 14. And then injury added to insult on the play. Watch the left knee of Josh Gordon as he tries to make the tackle. And that thing gets twisted up underneath him. He would not return to the game. We're still waiting for an update. Well, how would Tom Brady respond? Usually pretty well. 2 minutes to go in the half. 1st and 10 near midfield. That's Brady. This is Jacoby Myers.
Who?
He's throwing to guys no one's ever heard of. He's from NC State. Patriots on the move. Later in the drive, 36 seconds to go. Brady takes it in, and so the Pats are up 21-14 after a pretty interesting first half. Mid-4th quarter, still 21-14. Giants on a 3rd and 9 at the 26, and here comes another defensive play.
You can't do it. Congrats on the Pats. They're getting the ball out. They're creating turnovers and creating scores with these turnovers. The reason they're the best defense in the league right now is because of those turnovers for touchdowns.
Kyle Van Noy, it's reviewed and it's ruled a touchdown. The Patriots defense has scored more touchdowns this year than the Dolphins and Jets offenses combined. After a Giant 3 and out. By the way, they punted on a 4th and 2 with 7 minutes left in a 14-point game. Brady finds Julian Edelman. That's a great catch. Brady winds up taking it in himself. So he would on the night go 31 of 41, 334, 2 rushing touchdowns, and the Patriots remain unbeaten 35-14.
Happy we won. Happy to get to 6-0. So yeah, we just grinded it out pretty good.
What's your assessment of where you guys are as an offense right now? Do you think it's been good enough?
We'll see. We're 6-0, so try to get to 7-0.
Well, that was a lengthy pause. That was a long pause that Tom had as he was trying to consider the answer to that question. It's the first time he's won a game at home without throwing a touchdown since week 1 of 2008 against the Chiefs. And candidly, that was the game that he got knocked out with a knee that he cost him the season that year. He's now thrown 0 touchdowns in 2 of his last 3 games. So the conversation, we've been here this morning and we talked about Daniel Jones and we've talked about Brady and the Patriots offense, which has been struggling to some degree. And as we work on Jonathan's microphone, we'll talk over here for a minute about the Patriots defense, because in the NFL right now, the defenses that get a lot of attention are the ones in Buffalo and in Chicago. But is this Patriots defense, Bobby, actually the best in football?
Well, statistically, they're the best. And even when you factor in the defensive efficiency rating, which granted, that takes into account that they've played terrible offenses so far, they're still the best. And it starts outside with Stephen Gilmore. He's the best corner in the NFL. It allows them to do some different things. And I kind of liken this back a little bit to the Patriots of the early 2000s, where they had Ty Law on the perimeter, a Hall of Famer, and then they had 10 other guys out there to do what? What Bill Belichick asked them to do their job. They get pressure on the quarterback, they stop the running game, and when you turn the football over like that, you're going to put Tom Brady and maybe an offense that's struggling a little bit in a good situation to go score the football.
Darrelle Revis, who knows a thing or two about great corners, tweeted last night watching the game, Gilmore by far the best corner in the game right now, hashtag shutdown, hashtag #1. As you, through a quarterback's eyes, Mark, watch that Patriot defense play, what are you seeing?
They're tough. I wouldn't want to throw against Stephen Gilmore, especially with the tight end on him. That was a bad matchup, and Daniel Jones is going to learn from that bad decision. But this is an electric defense. These guys are really supporting that team, and as you guys know as players, there's 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. The offense is a little bit down right now. You see Tommy's frustrated because he has set such a high bar and such a high standard. He's pissed, and he's not okay with just winning. He wants to win the right way. He wants to score points. He wants to help this team. And it's hard for him right now because they're shorthanded. But the rest of the team is picking them up, the defense and special teams, and that's okay through this stretch, but they got to get better.
I want to emphasize the turnovers. We're watching highlights of the turnovers. That is the single most important stat outside of points against for any defense. That I remember my championship run, Super Bowl championship run, all we cared about was getting turnovers, getting takeaways, and not giving up points on the board. I don't care if you have 500 yards. If we have 5 turnovers in that game, we're winning, period.
It feels to me like the way the game is played now, the way it's officiated, the way the rules are put together, the defenses are not, no matter how good you are, you're not just going to stop offenses cold. So to your point, can you make game-changing kinds of plays? And that is turnovers leading to points. And not only did they take one into the house last night, and obviously the special teams, they also had a pick that set up a short field. So they're doing the things that the great defenses of this era can do.
And they do it not just with great players. Like I said, I mean, it's the fact they play smart defense. Defensive guys, you watch that film, Vilma, you see at the beginning, the snapshot you see at the snap is not what you see after the ball is snapped. The quarterback, it changes dramatically, and that's why they always give young quarterbacks so much trouble. It is their disguise.
Not Mark Sanchez.
It's worth pointing out, by the way, it's worth pointing out for those who may not remember or be aware that while they have won all these championships with the greatest quarterback of all time, Bill Belichick made his mark as a great defensive coordinator. That's what he was under Bill Parcells before he became what he is now. So he knows a thing or two about defense, too, and right now that defense has been really good. Now, the question is, do they have enough weapons on the offense? Maybe the answer will come in the form of that guy. You saw Rob Gronkowski making his debut as an analyst on Fox last night. But Patriots owner Robert Kraft on the pregame on NFL Network had this to say.
Have you guys had any conversations about him maybe stopping back and, getting a game in?
We all love Gronk, and I think the bottom line is he hasn't put his retirement papers in. So we can always pray and hope.
I think everyone had that reaction. Whoa,
No,
he hasn't actually technically filed his retirement papers. Is he coming back?
I think he eventually comes back because I think when he gets a call from Tom and the Pats are 10-1 or 12-1 down the line and he thinks, I can hop in on a moving train. I didn't have to go through training camp. I didn't have to deal with any other nonsense. And I have a chance to go win another Super Bowl. That's how every one of us would hop off.
Can he, though, Mark Sanchez, can he realistically, week 9, week 10, week whatever, just step right in and be Gronk?
It's going to be difficult. I'm going to say yes because I really want it to happen. And I just want to see that text like, hey, bro, come back from Tom. Come catch 10 more touchdowns.
No,
why not?
It's not happening.
It could.
Why not happening?
It could.
Oh, Gronk coming back?
Yeah.
Well, one, he doesn't look like he's ready to come back, but that's another issue.
I wouldn't want to cover
The
him.
most important thing is, as you said, if the Patriots are 12-1, 13-1, hello, they're winning. They don't need Gronk. They don't need him to win the Super
can't
Bowl.
hurt, though.
They are
He can't
good enough. He can hurt because you now take away a roster spot of someone who has been contributing. You have to get this guy acclimated. How many games is it going to take him?
Acclimated?
How many games is it going to take him to get? Oh, so he can just step in. So you're telling me any player can just step off the street and just run in and then play?
You could do it right now. You could go play
Okay.
a game right now.
Who could?
You.
No, I can't.
Yes,
I would
you
get
could.
run over. I cannot play right now.
I would like to see Gronkowski against Vilma at some point during this coming. Well, so we'll see. Anyway, Robert Kraft clearly not closing the door on that. Much more on this Football Friday as we go, but there was another game of enormous consequence last night, and it went to. They were drafted 2 picks apart. They were born 3 days apart. They are, in my view, the future of the NFL. But I'll give you all the credit in the world. You sat here last week. I laughed at you when you said the Colts are going to beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And what did you see there? And what are you seeing right now that teams can do defensively to stop the seemingly unstoppable Patrick Mahomes?
Well, one, you have to have the corners. The Colts have the corners that can run. And it's not run for a quarter. It's playing tight press man coverage all game long because they're going to get a few throws, but you're going to be able to stop them, slow them down. You have the 2 corners, the 2 safeties up top showing double high safety, which tells Patrick Mahomes, okay, I can get Travis Kelce on this corner route. Now, the big key was the pass rush. If you look at the way Justin Houston and Kimoko Toure were pass rushing, they wanted to enclose that circle for the quarterback so that he could not get that ball out or scramble. So now you change it up again. Again, all day long, it's press man coverage, and this is what Mahomes sees. He sees developing routes with tight man coverage and then a robber at the linebacker position, which allows the secondary to play tight, and then the defensive ends are able to rush a little bit differently when you can play that tight man coverage. So this is not going to be I'm stopping Patrick Mahomes. It's I'm slowing him down, limiting them to only 17 points a game so that you can get 20 points a game against that terrible Kansas City defense.
That's a really interesting. Go ahead.
Well, that game plan started with the Detroit Lions, Matt Patricia. Exactly. They didn't win the game, but they did slow down Mahomes. Where did he train under? Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. Who's the defensive coordinator for the Houston Texans? Romeo Crennel. Where did he train? Bill Belichick.
Right.
They're going to do some of the similar things.
All of that. And then how much of a factor is Mahomes' ankle? We saw it last weekend. He's gimpy. He's going to play, but he probably will not be at his athletic best. How much of a factor is that?
It's not just that. That's huge, right? Because if we're splitting hairs and we're picking a quarterback, Deshaun Watson's a little better in the pocket. Mahomes is incredible when he's off schedule. But he's also, not only is he hurt, Tyreek Hill is hurt, Sammy Watkins is hurt, their left tackle's out, Kareem Hunt's gone. I mean, he's working with a lesser cast than Watson is. Watson's got Fuller, he's got
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of weapons.
They've got plenty of weapons, and right now Mahomes is playing shorthanded right now.
So you're picking the Texans to win this game?
Well, the kicker is Brian Cushing and their strength staff. He's on their strength staff now, so I'm giving the edge to Brian Cushing and the Texans.
Well, one of the things I think the key is they've got to find a way to continue to protect Deshaun Watson. They did it last week, some play-action passing. They got Will Fuller involved right there. He had a massive game.
Huge, yeah.
But the majority of his big plays were off of the play action. 6 for 6 from Watson right there. 14 yards per attempt. Those were the big plays down the field. So Watson can sit back there. He has a little more time when you run play action. It helps your offensive line. It slows down the rush. And if you do that, the Chiefs' D-line isn't great. Watson could feast on that secondary.
The only thing I'm going to say, when you watch those clips, when you say the next-gen stat, 5 seconds or more to pass.
It's a long time.
That is an eternity. You're back there cooking steaks with 5 seconds. Are you kidding me?
And give those steaks to your offensive line when you're done
absolutely,
cooking.
But
how much of that is time that they're scrambling around and buying themselves?
Some of that, but you saw that last clip. He's back there.
That offensive line in Houston is playing better. Sneaky big news. They're giving him a little bit more protection. If they do right, because that was always the big knock there. He got sacked 60 times last year.
Exactly. It was a combination of Deshaun Watson holding the ball too long, not getting protection from the offensive line. Now the offensive line is protecting. Deshaun Watson playing a lot better.
All right, let me get up and go around the NFL first. Bengals wide receiver A.J. Green, final year of his deal. While he works his way back from injury, head coach Zach Taylor shot down any speculation that they would trade their star wide receiver, saying, quote, "We're not trading that guy." Mark, what should they do with A.J. Green?
I mean, this is a guy you really don't want to leave the building, especially if I'm Andy Dalton. Please, God, don't let this guy go. But listen, if that's more of an emotional decision, if you're the Patriots and it's a business decision, you never sign a premier player to their last deal. So it's really how you want to play it.
Be interesting to see where that thing goes. NBA preseason action last night. Kawhi Leonard, his much anticipated debut in a Clippers uniform, played just under 11 minutes in the first half, 7.6 assists and no turnovers. So he's up and rolling. So is Steph Curry, who put on a show last night at the brand new Chase Center. He dropped 40 points, Steph did, in 25 minutes of action as the Warriors beat the Timberwolves 143 to 123. And listen to these numbers. Steph Curry shooting the ball from the floor last night. 14 of 19 from the floor, 6 of 9 from 3. And as you see, he added 6 rebounds and 6 assists. So all of you who are sort of picking in some sort of pool Steph Curry to be the MVP, that's probably not a bad idea. Still to come on Get Up. On what planet is that not